but we're not in the game to take punishment. He was turning this guy all night, and this guy know he didn't win. And was he tough? Very tough and rugged.
Shakur, shut me up. Real quick, Shakur. I'm right here. Shut me up. Shut me up. Hello.
For real.
I don't know why.
Just don't cry, bro. Don't cry afterwards.
I don't know why.
Please don't cry.
Right, he'll take it on the chin. He'll be all right.
You gonna cry, man.
Now watch this.
Man,
watch
got
January
you on the
31st.
pound for pound list, man.
After the fight, I want you to talk everything you've been talking since I've been baby.
Man, I can't wait.
I'm gonna show you.
Man, I wish it was tomorrow, man. I wish it was today, man.
Man, we could. I'm ready right now.
Shut you down.
I'm ready at any given time.
I'm tired of your mouth, bro.
Floyd Mayweather snapped back at Teofimo Lopez during the press event, making it clear that all the bravado in the world means nothing when precision, patience, and control step into the ring.
Locked in, I put in the work Saturday night. All of my work is gonna take care of itself. So could bring whatever he want. He could come in pressure, do whatever he gotta do. He's just gonna bring out the best in me.
You fight, man, because you just want everybody to think you're the best, man. You never fought nobody.
Senior, do not fall when you get in the ring this
Nobody
time,
like
bro.
my son.
I don't want to see
Nobody
that.
like my son.
Stay on your feet.
Bro, he faster, quicker, smarter.
Gotta have it in control.
More entertaining. More entertaining.
Oh, snap.
Shut up, man.
Bigger.
That double stepping that you do, bro, I got that shit
You're
figured
so
out.
mad. I'm under your
Keep
skin.
on
That's when Teofimo's father jumped into the moment with total confidence, declaring they're going to dominate Shakur and shut him down just like they did to Lomachenko, talking as if the outcome is already scripted and the ending is locked in.
Y'all did
Oh, so you gotta show it, baby.
I don't think y'all did
you.
either. I ain't see.
Not on my son.
I ain't see Lomachenko throw no punches.
You never been on a big stage like this.
I didn't see Lomachenko throw punches for
You
6
never
rounds.
been on a big stage like
I
this.
didn't see Lomachenko throw punches.
Because we
for
froze
6
him.
rounds. Okay, you gonna see.
We gonna freeze you too.
You better not throw the towel in.
Come on, man. You out of your mind.
Okay.
My son fought without no air. My son fought without no air against Cambosis.
You can't fight for your son. You can't fight for your son.
You gonna tell me, man? Come on.
You can't fight for your son.
I bet you gonna quit.
Yeah, okay, you gonna see.
That's when the whole vibe changed. Shakur didn't raise his voice or fire back. He just grinned and said he's going to reveal Teofimo for what he really is. And somehow, that quiet certainty landed way heavier than any trash talk ever could.
Where are the weaknesses? Where are some of the weaknesses in his game?
A lot of the weaknesses is in his mental. I think it's more mental than anything. Again, I'm going to expose it.
You said in your last fight that you proved you were a dog against William Zepeda. What do you want to prove in this one?
That I'm the best. I want to show the world that I'm the best. After this fight, I want to be considered top 5 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, and I can't.
The difference was immediate. One camp was pushing raw confidence and hype, while the other was projecting something far more dangerous, certainty. At that point, it stopped feeling like trash talk and started feeling like two mindsets colliding. Force against finesse. Chaos against command.
What was it about Teo that you gave yourself like the eye? This is the one I want him, right? Because I'm sure you at a point where you got options, like you could pick, you could pick and choose. Yeah, I know. Why? What was it about him that you was like, all right, this is the one? What made you want to?
He's on top of his game, bro. I sat there his last fight in front of New York City.
Times Square, yeah.
He fought Arnold Barboza. He was sharp.
He was static. What's my boy name that was dead to?
He's one of the 5-4 kings, whatever they want to call it. So he on top of his game, bro. So if I see somebody on top of their game, my competitive edge just kick in. It's like, okay, I already visioned right then and there that I want to fight him. Like I want to be in front of him and see how my style do with his style. So it's more so just who the best.
There's no doubt both fighters believe in themselves completely. On paper, Teofimo brings more physical strength and raw explosiveness. He understands the game well and knows how to impose himself. But Shakur operates on a different level mentally. His ring intelligence and technical depth stand out. He's not stiff or robotic, but he's experienced, composed, and calculated in everything he does.
Too technical with Shakur. You gotta make it a little ugly. You gotta make it a little ugly. If you try to be too technical with Shakur, it could be too long of a weighted chess match. You know, certain people don't want to see that. They don't want to see pop shots. You know what I mean? They want to see good action. I have yet to see, and I think you could attest with me, I don't think we have seen Shakur face anyone higher than who he's gonna face next, and that's of me. So I definitely, commend him at least for stepping up.
To me, he's ahead mentally. He stays disciplined, doesn't drift into reckless exchanges, and rarely abandons the plan. Sometimes that approach means tougher matchups turn into slower, less flashy fights, and that's exactly why people go at him. Fans want fireworks. But against Teofimo, that same patience is likely what you'll see again. He's not going to gamble, he's going to calculate.
I think it's really that time for him to really take his first loss and, me whoop his ass to the point where either he quits on the stool or I knock him out.
You really believe that, because everyone will say, oh man, Shakur is probably one of the best defensive fighters in the game. You really believe you can stop Shakur Stevenson?
Yep.
And being cautious doesn't mean he's passive or late to the moment. Shakur is sharp with his timing and deliberate with every move. He has plenty of tools he can lean on to get his hand raised, just like Teofimo does on his side. But if I'm being completely honest, if Teofimo shows up locked in and performs the way he did on the night he faced Lomachenko, that version of him has what it takes to come out on top.
Lomachenko, and one of the things that I think that gets lost in that fight against Lomachenko is Teo threw more than 100 punches in the final round to make sure he won that fight.
Yeah, no question. Even in the loss that he had against Kambosos, where he had a puncture, like he had some medical condition in his esophagus that was dangerous actually, and it looked like...
And after all the discussion about styles, camps, and high-level chess moves, Richardson Hitchens stepped in and sliced through the whole conversation with pure gym-born truth. You can't pretend in this sport. He said it plainly, he's known Shakur since they were kids. Crashing on gym floors, grinding through brutal late-night sparring sessions, pushing each other when nobody cared or was paying attention. That's real work. That's steel getting sharpened by steel long before the spotlight ever showed up.
We came really close at a young age. I think I was about 13.
Yeah.
And me and him started off beefing at first. Because I was one of the guys that was like, I started boxing a little later than guys like Shakur. I started boxing like 12.
Okay.
Shakur and them guys was boxing like at 5, 7 years.
And that's what gives his words weight. When he says Shakur operates on a different tier, it's not hype, it's history. And when he points out that Teofimo is incredibly talented but doesn't match Shakur's pure boxing depth, it's not a shot. It's insight from someone who's felt Shakur's tempo firsthand and made it through the storm.
You think it's competitive though? It's close?
Yeah, I think it can be competitive.
Yeah.
Teo is real gifted. Shakur is real defensive. And, I feel like when a fight is super defensive, it can play against you all.
What stood out was how Richardson didn't sell it like a walk in the park. He still showed Teofimo respect, calling him accomplished and dangerous. But no matter how the conversation drifted, he kept landing on the same point, purely from a boxing standpoint. Shakur is operating on a different wavelength. When he repeated that Teofimo told him Shakur isn't accustomed to someone like him, you could almost hear Richardson grin, like, we'll find out, because experience works both ways. The real gem was when he acknowledged that being overly defensive can sometimes hurt you, then immediately clarified that Shakur isn't just defensive. He's an elite problem solver, and that difference gets overlooked all the time. And the confidence behind it wasn't flashy or aggressive. It was quiet, steady, almost detached, like someone who's seen this story enough times to already know how the final scene usually plays out.
Defensive, it can play against you, but Shakur's a high-level boxer, and Teo ain't on Shakur level. Teo know that, and like I told Teo when I see him, I said it's different. He told me that me and Shakur is used to each other. That's why I feel like it's different. He said Shakur not used to him. So in 2 weeks, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Teo is a 3.5.
Teo, if you were supposed to somehow win, fight me.
Exactly,
Fight me. That's the
exactly.
fight that...
When Richardson said, it's different, it didn't sound like promotion, it sounded like a heads up. The kind that comes from fighters who've watched plans fall apart once the bell rings and muscle memory takes over. Even when he joked about stepping in himself if an upset somehow happened, there was a steady confidence underneath it. Almost unshaken. Like this matchup isn't built on belief or buzz, it's built on execution. Hitchens wasn't pitching suspense. He was laying out facts. And the facts say Teofimo has to be flawless for every second of 12 rounds. Shakur, on the other hand, just has to be who he's always been. And anyone who's spent time around the sport knows exactly which of those tasks is more unforgiving.
They said they know how they're going to beat Shakur. We'll see, man. Teofimo's a tremendous fighter at the end of the day. I got to give ultimate respect to him because he is one of the most decorated young fighters in the sport today. And it's not going to be an easy task for Shakur, but I just feel like Shakur, when it comes to boxing, Teofimo's not better than him.
And right after Richardson framed this as a gap you only recognize if you were raised inside the craft, Gary Russell Jr. stepped in sounding like someone who's weathered both sides of the storm and doesn't get dazzled by highlight clips. Gary kept it simple, brains over raw physical gifts. And that wasn't a shot at Teofimo. It was a caution sign. He was essentially saying, yes, Teofimo is fast, powerful, and dangerous, but flashes don't intimidate thinkers who already know the escape routes. At the same time, Gary didn't let Shakur off easy either. He was clear, this fight gets messy if Teofimo brings disciplined chaos. That wording mattered. He wasn't talking about reckless flurries. He meant intentional pressure, short combinations, smart entries, striking first, forcing moments that make judges pay attention. And when Gary mentioned Lomachenko, it wasn't sentimentality. It was instruction. A reminder that Teofimo has already shown he can interrupt an elite technician if he commits in calculated bursts instead of standing there trying to look dangerous.
Gordo, when he fought Lomachenko, if he fights Shakur the way that he fought Lomachenko, that would somewhat poke holes in Shakur's game as far as allowing him to dictate the ring, dictate the revenue of the ring. You know, he'd have to mash the gas, like I say, in spurts. Put Shakur on the defensive, make him want to be defensive, make him question when he punches. And another thing, he has the ability to hurt Shakur.
And I'm with him on that. Shakur isn't looking to stay in extended physical exchanges. He wants sharp reads, quick resets, and room to operate. Gary pointed out that if Teofimo can push him backward and force him into reaction mode instead of command mode, the visual narrative shifts fast. And like it or not, boxing is judged through visuals, but then Gary immediately swung the pendulum the other way. He made it clear that if Teofimo pauses, waits, or tries to be slick for the cameras, Shakur will pick him apart over 12 slow, draining rounds, the kind that feel like unanswered messages piling up. What really hit was Gary acknowledging that Teofimo can genuinely hurt Shakur, while the opposite isn't as obvious. That changes the entire risk calculation. Even with that, Gary still leaned toward Shakur, because intelligence tends to last longer than explosions. This wasn't indecision, it was nuance. His point wasn't about who's better in theory. It was about who stays true to who they are once the pressure tightens. If chaos stays organized, it favors Teofimo. If it doesn't smother the thinking, intellect takes over. That's why this fight isn't easy to call. It's not random, it's conditional.
Intellect over athleticism. You know, I will always choose intellect over athleticism. In my personal opinion, if I had to choose somebody, I'm more so leaning towards Shakur. But I still feel as though it's a 50-50 fight. I feel like it's a 50-50 fight. I feel like Shakur, his game plan is to fight the way that he fights.
And right after Gary Russell Jr. laid out that whole brains versus chaos chessboard, Gabe Rosado stepped in and somehow cranked up the volume without ever raising his tone, which is a skill in itself. Gabe dropped a line that stuck immediately. These are champions who still fight like they're chasing something. And that's dangerous on both sides. That wasn't admiration, it was a caution. When Gabe described this as a high-stakes chess match, it didn't sound calm to me. It sounded tight. Loaded. Because neither Shakur nor Teofimo is wired to cruise once pride enters the room. Gabe leaning toward Shakur wasn't about bias either, it was about evidence. He brought up the Zepeda fight like, you wanted to see him in close quarters? There it is. And that matters. Shakur didn't just survive in the pocket, he took shots, fired back, went downstairs, and never lost his identity. That's not changing who you are. That's adding layers. When Gabe mentioned people questioning whether Shakur has that inner edge, I almost smiled. Fans get the loudest when they realize they read someone wrong. Shakur didn't make noise, he showed it. At the same time, Gabe didn't downplay Teofimo at all. He called him special, explosive, hungry, because anyone who's been around boxing long enough knows you don't last by pretending danger isn't real. This wasn't promotional fluff. It was an honest acknowledgement that if both men come forward with intent, the room for mistakes disappears fast.
You got two guys, they got great skills, but are both really hungry. It's like they're champions, but they fight like they're prospects or contenders. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see Teofimo taking a step back, and I don't see Shakur taking a step back. Even though they have the ability to box, but I see this being a high intense chess match. You know what I'm saying? Who do I favor? It's tough, man.
But the moment Gabe really shifted the entire discussion was when he started talking about the minds surrounding Shakur, because that's where this matchup starts to feel lopsided in subtle ways. Gabe flat out said that having voices like Crawford, Ward, and that whole championship brain trust in your corner gives you an advantage you'll never find on a stat sheet. And he's right. That's not just coaching, it's lived experience speaking to you during camp, between rounds, even in moments of doubt. What I appreciated most was that Gabe didn't frame it as Shakur winning because he's better. He framed it as Shakur winning because he's being prepared from directions his opponent may not even realize exist yet. You can be fast, powerful, and gifted, but when the other guy is being refined by people who've already cracked every code, that creates a different kind of pressure. Sure, we can debate styles forever. But what Gabe was really saying is that this fight could be shaped long before the first bell, through conversations, adjustments, and instincts built over years of elite problem solving. That doesn't lock in an outcome, but it explains why so many fighters keep siding with Shakur. Not because Teofimo lacks a path to victory, but because Shakur keeps stacking layers without losing his identity. And when hunger is paired with that level of guidance, it becomes a dangerous equation.
Teo's that dude too, man, but I would lean a little bit towards Shakur.
Why so?
Just because he showed a different element in what he did against Cepeda. He showed, all right, y'all want to see me stand in the pocket, I'll stay in the pocket. He stood in the pocket with Cepeda. He broke him down to the body. Yeah, I mean, combinations, had good defense, took shots, and showed that he could take a punch. So people haven't seen that side of Shakur, and he demonstrated that. So he got the dog in him. So everybody questioned it.
So when you pull back from all the opinions, all the camps, and all the confidence being thrown around, this matchup really boils down to one question we keep circling without answering. When everything is at stake, do you believe more in structure or in disruption? Teofimo brings power, athleticism, and that explosive faith that a single moment can rewrite the entire story. Shakur brings restraint, accuracy, and a framework built to erase moments before they ever exist. We've heard the belief. We've heard the cautions. We've heard the respect, from people who've actually shared the ring with both types of fighters. And none of it sounds manufactured. That's why this fight feels dangerous no matter how you slice it. If Teofimo creates chaos on his terms, history shows he can warp even elite opposition. But if Shakur keeps everything operating inside his structure, control slowly suffocates momentum. There's no perfect answer here, only outcomes. Let me know where you land in the comments. Let's actually break it down. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.